instead of finding much pain on the street, I think I have found much hope because of you. But what you did for me, Pinchas, is to show me that I should not forget when bad things happen. I should remember and I should try to make things better for the world. But now I have something I didn't have before. You gave me hope, Pinchas, and I will make the world better for you. Thank you, and I love you. And then she signed that. Now, you see, that's a beautiful letter that she wrote. And what it is because of her involvement in the educational aspect, she spent 10 days with me. But these teachers, they spend the whole year with their students. What I think is that we can build on that. So by then trying to teach with a kind of immense empathy about what happened, not with hate, but with empathy what happened, they will be able to impart to their students a feeling of emotional well-being that they can actually think in terms of goodness instead of badness, instead of violence, instead of being a good person. You can use this as a base for then structuring a way of imparting that good part into their teaching.
Why are teachers important?
Teachers are important for one reason, and that is because they get their children early. And the children who by that time, have not really, they only got some education at home, but they didn't get anything, structured. They didn't get anything, from people who know how to impart things, who know how to teach. It is terribly important that teachers start the process of creating that person as a fully fledged individual. In other words, teaching is terribly important. It's more important than anything else. In other words, why do people choose to be a teacher? They choose to be a teacher because they want to impart, such wonderful things to the children, and they want to give of themselves. And I think that is why it's so important.
What's your challenge to them when it comes to teaching about the Holocaust?
That is an extremely difficult question. It's a good question, but it's not an easy one to answer, and it's not an easy one to impart to everybody else. As far as I am concerned, is I'll give you, you asked me a question, I'll give you a story. And as far as I'm concerned, I feel that by teaching about the Holocaust in a way that creates a situation where there is the good and the bad, and the good is actually by teaching the good parts, the teaching that people have got empathy, feelings of emotional feelings of goodwill towards other human beings, that we are all equal, that it doesn't really matter whether we are Christian, whether we are Buddhist, whether we are Muslim, whether we are Jewish, whether we are Catholic, or it doesn't matter what we are. We're going to create a better world, and there are many people who want to do that. When you teach about the Holocaust, when you teach about, you must also make people understand that it did not start with killing. I can give them the flame, and I can tell them that the flames, that these are flames of no religious discrimination, no racial discrimination, no homophobia, no xenophobia, and above all, no hate. And that these things, are flames, only some of the flames that are burning in that tortured mind. And that tortured mind, hopefully, that those flames will create a lot of sunshine and a lot of beauty, and they will light up the world and give them to your friends, give them to your families, give them to everybody. This is how I usually, when I speak to people, I usually finish off by giving them this present. I tell them it's a gift that I give to you, a torch. I'm going to try and behave myself.
Well, thank you, Pinchas. I hope you have a great day.
Lots of hugs for you. Keep well and look after yourself and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.